Trouble is easy to get into, but hard to get out of. I had to learn that the hard way. Trouble is really easy for all of us to go outside and get into, but it's the most hardest thing to get out of. That's how it is in the American bully world. Once you decide that you want to cross up a dog, you got to roll with that. You're going to have to roll with that. Once you decide that you want to make changes to your breed, your dog, you got to roll with that. That's the trouble that you're getting yourself into. I mean, it's really easy to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. The trouble that most people have got into today with the American bully is going outside of the breed, going outside of the standard, going outside of the original standard that was set before people ran to the United Kennel Club standard. See, because the United Kennel Club standard said on the paperwork that it's supposed to have a heavy bulldog influence. And that's what really sent a lot of people who you guys, who me too, we all consider as newbies. Like I said, we all newbies. We all newbies. But that's what sent people in the direction of bulldogs in the first place. It's because maybe, well, I ain't going to say that's what sent them in the direction of bulldogs in the first place. But I'm going to say that's what the paperwork said. And, a lot of people just took it from there and ran with it. You know what I mean? Because, people interpretate things that you say wrong nowadays. You got a lot of uneducated people out here, being misled by the wrong individuals, So they interpretate things that you say the wrong way. They interpretate it like a gangbanger would interpretate it. Even though you have some very smart gang banging individuals out here that know how to lead a whole community. So you can't just take a crap on no gangbanger. I ain't even gonna do nothing like that. But I'm just saying, some of these guys will think with a street mentality. Let's just put it like that. A street mentality to where they don't think before they do something. They don't think before they say something. You don't come across as a very intelligent person. So when someone says something to you, you may interpret it the wrong way. That's just how it's been out here. And I just think that from paperwork that was laid out for people to read, all these people single registering dogs, and they looked on there and they seen that one thing, because people always pay attention to that one thing. They seen that it said heavy bulldog influence. There it went right there. That was the go. That was the permission to breed to a bulldog. Because it really did say that on the United Kennel Club standards. It said that, and that was the go right there, if you ask me. That was the go. That was the go to breed to a bulldog. Because why would you put heavy influence in the first place? Why do it got to be a heavy influence? So yeah, that was the go right there from the gate. And man, I'm telling you, like I say, trouble is gonna be easy to get into, but hard to get out of. That was the trouble that most of the American bully breeders got into, was going against the original American bully standard. Now it's hard to get out of it. It ain't no getting out of it. There's no getting out of it now. Because the only way you could get out of it now is to start all over again, breeding the dogs all over again the way they supposed to be bred. A pit to a staffy. Take that to a ruffian. Take that to a watchdog. Take that to a Ryan. That's the only way it's finna be cleared up. Other than that, yeah. The trouble that we are in is hard to get out of. None of us can get out of it. None of us can run from the trouble that we are in. Because we all have heavy bulldog influence now. Ain't that how everybody breed them now? Step outside the box and say you finna go outcross your dog to somebody else's dog. If you look over his paperwork with a fine comb, because most of them might not have all the dogs on there that even created that dog. But if it do, and you look over it with a fine comb, I bet you'll find a dog that does not even supposed to be on that paperwork. I bet you'll find a bulldog. I bet you will. One thing about that bulldog is it leaves its mark on anything that it breeds. It's very hard for you to breed to a bulldog and say, nah, I didn't breed to no bulldog. That's a hard thing to do, bro. Because a bulldog leaves its mark on just about anything that it breeds. It's most definitely going to produce that black muzzle, that pushed in muzzle. And in most cases, it might produce on a puppy that it bred to that's not a bulldog. It still may produce that splayed feet, even though the dog you bred it to wasn't a bulldog. It still may produce splayed feet. You're gonna see the bulldog in it, just like you see it in today's American bullies. It's so many breeders that implemented the bulldog that sent a shock wave through the American bully world. That, hey, if we breed to a bulldog and we get a certain kind of puppy, we can get rich. That was 10 years ago they thought of that plan. And they still haven't got rich today. Okay? Let that sink. Let that one sink in. Let that one sink in. But right now, I would like to say, welcome to another episode of Face the Bully, where myself, I talk about dogs, preferably your dog and mine. It's hard to get out of this trouble that we in right now. We may not get out of this trouble. The American bully as we know it will only continue to be bred to a bulldog. And you have breeders out here that really say to you right now that they feel like the bulldog blood is necessary because that's actually adding a third blood to them. That's actually an outcross to what they have to them. And in some shape, forms, and fashions, it can be a believable statement that you can outcross it to a bulldog, but still, it's still a true statement that bulldog leaves its mark on anything that you outcross it to. And it's still safe to say that you would have to change the name if you bred it to a bulldog. When two things are not the same, you have to change the name, right? If I sit here and breed I ain't even gonna call out a bloodline because that's another thing. It don't even make sense to call out bloodlines no more. Because I don't believe in bloodlines. I mean, man, anybody can have a bloodline, and everybody do got a bloodline. But y'all bloodlines don't look the same, and neither do mine look the same as y'all's. These are what I call American bully dogs. These are not Razor's Edge. You can look at a Razor's Edge puppy and tell that's a Razor's Edge puppy. But, you know, when you see an American bully dog, you know, they don't look the same. They all pretty, but they don't look the same. They just don't look the same. You know, we all love the bully, and we are not going to stop loving the bully. But sometimes trouble is easy to get into, but hard to get out of. The trouble that like I said, that most of the American bully breeders got into was bringing in Bulldog in the gene pool. And some of them put in Boston Terrier. Some of them put in Pug. A lot of them put in Miniature Pinscher. They put that inside these dogs. They did that to the American bully. And they sat them in cages. And they kept them in cages where nobody could see these dogs. And when that dog came of age, they bred it. And they continued to trickle on down the line. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Most American Kennel Club dog breeders, hey, some of them have even been convicted of puppy millers. Being a puppy miller, puppy milling, and all of that stuff. Having too many dogs. Having too many dogs. Dogs living in horrible conditions, but they full-blooded dogs. They breeding them. Some of these champion dogs from the American Kennel Club come from puppy mills. They do, man. When a person is out to get that wonderful dog, you'll be surprised at the things that they'll do to get that dog. You'll be surprised. If somebody sat here and told you that they live in California, but they traveled all the way to Poland just to breed with a dog, man, you'll be surprised what that dude to do for a dog, man. He already showed you what he'll do for a dog. He traveled from California to Poland just to breed to a dog. Quit playing, man. Some of these people are not who they appear to be. And that's the reason why it's so easy for you to cross a dog to a bulldog if you think for 1 minute that the dog you getting ready to shove this bulldog to is going to create a prize. It's going to create a winner, a champion. The trouble you're willing to get into for an American bully is crazy. Because you're willing to get in trouble about the dog. You're willing to breed that dog to another dog if you even know the dog you getting ready to breed to is part Boston Terrier. It's a bully crossed to a Boston Terrier. But he looks sick, though. He got a full tail. He big. He brindle. Nice body. He even came out with almond-shaped eyes. But you know that this dog has been crossed to a Boston Terrier. Most bully breeders will still breed with that dog. They'll still breed with it. And when you see the paperwork, it ain't going to say nothing about the Boston Terrier. It's just going to say the other dog, the bully dog. It's going to put his name out there, making him the only dog on the pedigree. That's another thing. You only see one dog on the pedigree. It's either the champion mom or the champion dad. They'll never mention nothing else about any other dogs. And man, it's crazy how trouble is easy to get into but hard to get out of in this bully world. One thing you ain't finna get out of is this bulldog being implemented inside the American bully. You look on some of these posters and the dog just look like the dog from the Incredible Hulk after the man shot him up with the Incredible Hulk blood. And the dog's just yoked up all of a sudden. Look at some of these posters, and it looks just like them dogs off the Incredible Hulk. Like they just yoked up all of a sudden. You got yoked up dogs now. Dogs that ain't even fit no more. They just yoked. They just got muscles busting from everywhere. And you think this dog is comfortable. No, this dog probably ain't comfortable. He's a millionaire dog, but he probably ain't comfortable. Now you starting to hear about dogs shooting blood in they semen. Which I've heard about that before. You know, that ain't nothing new to me, man. Right there, that ain't nothing new to me, man. I know dog breeders, man. I know dog breeders personally. You know what I'm saying? From right here in Sacramento, California, I know dog breeders, man. And I'm going to tell you, man, they will breed the hell out of a dog. Like literally, man. When it comes to a bully, shit. Man, come on, man. I've seen some things, man, that you know, showed me the bad end of bullies. And then I've seen some things that showed me the good end of bullies. You know, I've seen some breeders that people would think this is a top-notch breeder, but he's really a piece of scum. And then I've seen some people who are just mean, like they're mean people. They don't like nobody in the world, but they treat their dogs, you know, like gods. You know, so I'm just saying, man, I've seen all type, me personally, I've seen all types of dog breeders. I've seen them. I've been to they places, and man, I'm telling you, man, when you go to a person's place and he got more than 10 dogs, just go on and be on the lookout about, you know, be aware that this cat could be one of them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? He could be one of them people, man, you know what I'm saying, that just breed dogs just to sell them. You know what I mean? Some of y'all only selling dogs for $200. That's another bad thing. You're only selling dogs for $200. And if it don't sell for $200, you will find a way to get rid of it. I'm just saying, man, the trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of with these dogs. And it's going to be hard to get out of now because of all the new breeds that's been implemented into the dogs. All these new breeds are popping out. They starting to give off new colors. When you done bred these dogs so many times to each other and the family and the cousins and the sisters and grandma and the granddaddy, you done bred all these dogs, you know, together. You done shipped them to California. You done shipped them to Texas. You done shipped them to Louisiana. You done shipped them to Illinois. But every time you get semen from somebody, it's the same damn semen. You just inbreeding to the same dog. Y'all take a dog and give it a brand new name. This dog will be a pit bull terrier, bred to a Staffordshire terrier, bred to a wolf dog. And when the dog come out, and it can have part bulldog in it, but when it come out, y'all gonna pick one dog and call him a special name. This is Savior. Get in contact with me. Please contact if you want some of Savior's blood. $2,000 for Savior's blood. And the bad part about it is you ain't never going to see his litter. You ain't never going to see his litter. And then if you do see his litter, it's going to make you say, I'm not finna give you $2,000 for that dog. If those are his litter mates. Litter mates look nothing like him. This is the trouble you can't get out of. See, you implement a dog, but you look for the prettiest one. And then you showcase and you advertise that dog. That's exactly what's going on right now. Dogs walking in there looking like straight bulldogs. You can just look at this dog and tell it's bulldog. You can't get mad at nobody for saying it. You can't get mad at nobody for pointing it out. You can't get mad at nobody. We already see it. We already know. And the UKC put it on their paperwork and said the dog is supposed to have a heavy bulldog influence. So it is what it is, right? Because ain't nobody going to go to another registry that's American Bully Registry and register your dogs. Because you know more than likely somebody up in there going to say something about that dog. That's why most of the people who got Razor's Edge, pure Razor's Edge dogs, they prefer not to even show them. Because they're not bully. They're Razor's Edge. They're a whole different dog. The dog being called Razor's Edge. And Razor's Edge don't fit inside the American Bully category because it don't look like it. Period. It never will look like it. It's his own self dog. That's as close to throwing knuckles as you'll get. That's as close to Remy line as you'll get. Razor's Edge is as close as you'll get to Samurai Paco. That's as close as you'll get is with a real Razor's Edge dog. So you can't call Edge Bully. It ain't the same. They two different dogs. They two different categories. Bully is this new shit that y'all didn't put anything in. And whatever size that mug come out, that's just the size it came out. We've seen everything from people putting two different dogs on a poster, telling us that they getting ready to breed, and then they show us the puppies, and the puppies look nothing like the dogs on the poster. They ain't buff like that. They don't stand like that. They ain't up there in the clouds. They ain't doing none of that. You know how you see them in the clouds, and then they got the whole city surrounding them, and they got this immaculate head, and they've been airbrushed and spray painted and look so good and just look so decent. You ain't never seen a dog look like this before. Then when you see the puppies, the puppies look like, man, I've created puppies myself that look better than, man, most of these dudes' dogs that they call champions. And I wasn't even trying to create a champion dog. But I ain't gonna even lie to you. That's, around the time when dogs had full bodies and, their tail was in the right spot and both their ears was up on their head, and we hadn't even never heard of ear cropping. We wouldn't even want to do nothing like that to our dog. We were so young, we wouldn't even want to see you cut on our dog. We didn't want to see you do nothing like that, mutate our dog. Sitting over here mutating our dog. We don't want to see all of that. We didn't want to see all of that. We had dogs that we knew was dog fighters because when they got off the chain, that's the first thing that they did was fall. We didn't fight them. They fought on themselves. Real terrier dogs, man. Real terrier dogs that you had to, when you go to sleep at night, make sure this fool was chained up or in the garage or something. Most of our dogs was in the garage. Because if they wasn't in the garage, they find a way out to go get a dog. And if a dog was in heat, he gonna get out that garage. He finna chew through that wood. Yeah, these was the dogs we grew up with. See, now y'all got dogs and y'all had the audacity to put them in a cage like they gonna escape. That's funny right there. You put them in a cage like they gonna escape. Man, come on, man. Them dogs ain't finna walk nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. You can leave that cage door open and them dogs won't go nowhere. These dogs that's nowadays, that's built nowadays, they won't go nowhere. You can leave the front yard gate open, it won't go nowhere. It's going to stay right there because these dogs that nowadays, they're hungry dogs, to be truthful. They're hungry dogs. Wherever they get a good meal at, they're going to stay right there. It don't matter if the gate open or not. Because that's the bulldog in them. The bulldogs stay hungry. The pit bulls stay hungry too, but he's a roaming dog. Most of the time if a pit bull get off the chain, he might run about 15 or 20 blocks before you be able to catch up to this dog. This dog might roam. A pit bull terrier is a going dog. It's a roamer. It will get off the chain and completely go. But if a bully get off the chain, will it leave? Like literally, will it go somewhere? I mean, an XL, yeah, probably an XL would. But an American bully, one of these dogs that they got out here right now nowadays, that dog ain't going nowhere, man. That dog ain't going nowhere. If that dog got off that chain, he gonna be right there at your front door when you get ready to come out and open that motherfucker. And that's some real talk, bruh. That dog gonna be right there until you get ready to come out and open that motherfucker, because that's the trouble that you got yourself into when you crossed it to a bulldog or to a pug. You know what I'm saying? Or to a Boston Terrier. Real facts. The drive got took away from the dog, so the dog already itself knows if it goes outside that gate and get to a fight, it ain't gonna win. Most American bullies nowadays, they ain't gonna win no fight. They might get into a fight, but they ain't gonna win that fight because he ain't got long enough wind to win that fight. He can't even move in a dog fight to get around. I mean, and I don't condone dog fighting. Please believe. But just the way that the dogs are built, no, they're not gonna, they can't protect themselves. If a German Shepherd jumped over a fence and came and got on one of these dogs, boy, he'd probably shake the fur off that American Bully. I'm not even lying. He'd probably shake the fur off of him, man. That's just, I know a lot of people gonna be ill when they hear this. They gonna be like, damn, this dude is crazy. But that dude is real, man. Trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of. So when you take them dogs and you cross them to another dog, you're going to implement all the traits from that other dog that you just crossed into that American Bully. That's why you see fur on some of these dogs. That's why you see some of them don't have no fur. That's why you see some of them have different color eyes. That's why you see some of them have messed up backs. Some of them have super high rears. Oh my gosh, those high rears are becoming common nowadays, aren't they? Huh? Them high rears? Yeah. Yeah, that's just like talking about dogs with no tails. Remember last year in 2021, it was all about the corkscrew tail? Now everybody want to clean the dogs up, so now the dogs don't really have a corkscrew tail no more. But where did the corkscrew tail come from in the first place? Either that pug or that bulldog. Or it came from that Boston Terrier. So that, you know, when the truth starts to get told, no one can get mad because we only talking about the creation of the modern day American Bully, which we know what the creation of this dog is because we are the ones creating it. We put the damn Rottweiler in the dog. We put the Doberman Pinscher in the dog. We bred that dog to a Min Pin. We bred that dog to the Pekingese, and we know we did it. We bred that dog to that pug. You was there when your homie bred that dog to that English Bulldog. You was right there. And all y'all done been to a veterinarian probably at least once to have a C-section. Since when did Pit Bulls or Staffordshires needed a C-section? When you start breeding dogs that have bigger heads, that can't come through the mother's canal, they have to have a C-section. Most of the dogs that do that are brachiocephalic dogs. You can't get mad at the truth when the truth come out. There's no way you could get mad at the truth. Like I said, trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of. When you breeding them bulldogs and them brachiocephalic dogs inside of an American Bully, and we can see it right here, man. On Face the Bully, we can see it, man. We can see it. We can see what's going on with the dogs. When you crossbreed that dog, we can see it. And no, the American Bully is not Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge is Razor's Edge. They have to be split apart. The puppies don't even look the same. You can breed any American Bully dog right now and then go look at a litter of Razor's Edge puppies. They don't look the same. It's a wrap, man. It just has to be split up. The exotic in his own world, this new dog that y'all call an American Bully in its own world, an Edge in its own world. It just had to be split up. But the face, it remains the same. Razor's Edge as the true American Bully. And that's real talk right here on Face the Bully.